A very warm welcome to all my students who got promoted from first year PUC to second year PUC. Now you had a effortless journey in your first PUC, but your second PUC is not just like that. You cannot expect what type of questions may be asked in the examination, and moreover it is a NCERT syllabus. Now when I mean NCERT syllabus, almost the nationwide is following the same syllabus. So your standards, your aptitude should improve to the level of what that has been expected in NCERT syllabus. So you cannot just like that enjoy as how you were enjoying in your first year PUC. And in your first year PUC, it was just like you had just stepped out from your school and got into college. So your 1 year was just full and full of happy and good memories. But apart from this, you also have to put some effort in understanding and learning your second PUC subject. If you don't understand and learn the second PUC subject, definitely you all will face a problem in facing your examinations. So I request all the students to give your heart and soul in understanding any subject, not only business studies, any subject for that matter. In case if at all you have any doubts, you have to mark it. I request all the students to have a notepad or a notebook for each and every subject. Now whatever classes that we discuss, either by using a Zoom as a platform or YouTube as a platform, whatever it might be, make sure that you have a notebook, mark all the doubts, make sure that you submit the assignments and try to learn the subject. Now efforts is not only from the teacher side, from the lecturer side. I request some amount of effort should be even from the student side. Okay. Now without your support, without your efforts, we teachers could not do anything at this situation. We know that globally we have global wide pandemic is going on all across the world. This COVID-19, novel COVID-19 is breaking our regular activities, is disturbing our regular activities. So in this case we cannot expect a traditional class. So in absence of traditional class, we are now going for a online class. So as I told you, please have a notebook, notepad. If at all you have any doubts, mark it, and do feel free to mail us. I shall share my mail ID in the maybe in the YouTube link, or else I will also share the mail ID in the WhatsApp group. So if at all you have any doubts, anytime you can mail me, and you should be submitting the assignments whatever has been given by each and every faculties. Try to learn the subject by putting your effort. You cannot depend on the efforts only by the faculty. So whatever efforts that we are putting from our end, we shall put it, but at the same time we expect you also to put your own efforts. Okay, done. So today we shall get into the topic our first business studies class, unit 1, nature and significance of management. And today we shall not discuss the entire unit. Today our topic for discussion will be introduction to management, meetings and definitions of management, features of management. Only these 3 topics we are going to discuss it today. Okay. Now dear students, today we shall get into first topic, introduction to management. Now before I talk about introduction to management, I would like you to take you to first PUC. Now in first PUC we have discussed different forms of businesses like sole trading concern, partnership firm, Hindu undivided family, cooperative society, joint stock company, public limited company, private limited company, multinational corporations, and also we shared about imports and exports. Now management is applicable for all this kind of businesses. Without management, you cannot expect any business to function. If a business has to function actively, there should be presence of management. See, today our college has been started. Though we did not meet face to face, though it is not a traditional class, but still an online class has been scheduled. From where did we get the instruction? We got the instruction from the management. We got the instruction from the team leader. We got the instruction from the principal. Okay, so without the presence of management, you cannot expect any organization to function. Now if you ask me a question, sir, if this is this management applicable only to workplace, only to organization? Definitely not. Management is present everywhere. To our day-to-day activity, we are implementing management. Okay, now for an example, let us take like this. The very beginning of the month, your father is getting a salary or your mother is getting a salary. See what type of dish your mother prepares. Your mother will add too much of nutrients and rich ingredients to your food. Why? Very beginning of the month, there is flow of cash, there is flow of money in your family. So they try to give full nutrition or royal ingredient food will be added to the platter. Now if you see in the mid of the month or at the end of the month where there is a less supply of money, the flow of money is reduced, the circulation of money is reducing in the family. At that time you see what type of food is being prepared. Now that is also type of a management. All of a sudden a relative unexpectedly a relative is coming to your house. How your father and mother manages the show with the limited resources. Forget about your father and mother. You take an example. You are having, for an example, let us take like this. You are having 10 pairs of dress. Okay, all of a sudden there is a function that has been organized by your neighbor. You have to go to your neighbor's function or maybe your friend's function, engagement or a reception. Within that 10 pairs of clothes, you shall try to manage which best combination will suit you. You shall pick that. Okay, you have mentioned it or not. So management is present everywhere. It is universal process. It is worldwide. It is present everywhere. So if you ask me, is it applicable only to organization? Definitely it is not just applicable to organization. It is applicable to everyone. All those who are doing their day-to-day activity unconsciously, without our knowledge, we are practicing management. You have mentioned it or not? For an example, let me give you one more example. Every day morning you are fixing an alarm in your mobile. Why is that you are fixing an alarm? Because you have a schedule tomorrow. You have already scheduled some activities. You have already scheduled some predetermined goal. Tomorrow I have to wake up, I have to go for jogging, then later on I have an interview at this time. Before going to interview I have to do this much of activities. Then I have to do my banking work. So tomorrow's activity you are planning it today by setting an alarm. That tomorrow's activity is set to be a goal. Objective. To achieve your objective, you are scheduling yourself, you are organizing yourself, you are preparing yourself. Unconsciously, you are doing all these things. You mention it or not? So, we were doing all these things unconsciously without the knowledge that it is management. Today, this session, in this subject, business studies, you are going to study on the same topic. Now you understand what is management. So let us see what the introduction tells. Management is the administration of an organization. Now what is administration? Administration refers to a group of individuals who are in charge of creating and enforcing rules and regulations. Now who creates rules and regulations? It can be a team leader, or beyond team leader it can be a floor manager, or it can be a general manager, or beyond general manager it can be a CEO, chief executive officer, or any of the board members. So anybody who involved in enforcing rules and regulation, all that individuals or group of individuals are said to be administrators. Whatever the activity that they do, like preparation of rules, regulations, monitoring, enforcing it, all this activity will fall under the category called as administration. Now let us see. Management is the administration of an organization, whether it is a business or non-profit organization, government body. So management is not only for profit making organization, it is also for non-profit making organization. It can be for a government body or it can be for a NGO, okay, non-government organization. So management is everywhere. As I told you, management is globally present, worldwide present. Okay, now see, for an example, in an organization, I will just show a scenario. In an organization, there are many types of resources. Okay, there are human resource, there are financial resource, there are intellectual resource. What is intellectual resource? People with intelligence, good knowledge. Okay, intellectual resource, natural resource, all these things put together. Okay, you mentioned it or not? All these things put together, okay, is only called as management. Managing your human resource, managing your natural resource, managing your financial resource, managing your intellectual resource. Okay, so managing of all these things is said to be management. Okay, you mentioned it or not? Now let us see what does the meaning and definition tells about management. Management's primary function is to get people to work together for attaining the organization's goal and objective. Now what do you understand? Management's primary function is to get people to work together. That means one person cannot do all the job that is existing in the organization. You cannot expect one individual. Okay, you cannot expect one individual to do all the job that is present in the organization. See, for an example, you cannot expect me to explain history, at the same time engage the class of accountancy, engage the class of Hindi, engage the class of Tamil, engage the class of Kannada. No, all work cannot be done by one single person. Okay, group of individuals. Work is been divided to group of individuals. Work is been divided to different people, and they have to work together. Why they have to work together? They have to work together in order to attain the organization's goal. What is our organization's goal? Our organization goal is to improve the standard of living of the students, to transfer the knowledge from teacher to student, to uplift the student to the maximum extent that is possible by the faculty. Ultimate goal is to help the student pass their second PUC with good ranking. Okay, evaluation turner. So management's primary function is to get people to work together for attaining an organization's goal and objective. Okay, evaluation turner. Now we already saw introduction to management, meaning and definition of management. Now definition in detail I shall be giving in notes. Now for the class, for explanation, now we shall move on to the next topic. Next topic for today's discussion is features of management. Now if you see this slide, totally there are 7 features. First feature, management is goal oriented, management is pervasive, management is multidimensional, management is a continuous process, management is a group activity, management is a dynamic function, and management is intangible. Now let us see what it means one by one in detail. Now let us see the first feature. Management is goal oriented process. Goal oriented. Okay. Now what is goal? It is a target. Okay. Now you cannot, target is a target gives a very shorter meaning, very narrow meaning. You cannot call it as a target. Just to make you understand, I'm telling you a target. Okay, so now for an example, let us take like this. Company has an goal to sell 1,000 computers. Then all the managers, team leaders, all the team members have to start working towards selling of 1,000 computers. How it has to be sold, what should be the mode of communication to the public, should it be only in the process of advertisement, should it be only in the form of advertisement, or should it be in any other means of marketing. Okay, how am I going to sell this 1,000 computers? What is the goal? Goal is to sell 1,000 computers. How am I going to sell this 1,000 computer to common public? So always management will act according to the goal that is been predetermined. What is predetermined? The goal is already fixed. What is the goal here according to our example? Selling of 1,000 computers. To sell 1,000 computers is the goal. Now to sell that 1,000 computers, what type of people is required for sales team, what is the sales strategy, who are our competitors, what is the price that is been fixing, if he is fixing a price, to that what should be my price. Okay, what are all the marketing strategy that I need to use. Okay, should my marketing strategy only involve advertisement, or should it involve any other means of promotional activity. Okay, planning all these things and getting it done to achieve your organizational goal. Planning all these things and getting it done to achieve your organizational goal. So as per our example, what is our organization? See, you understand, what do you understand by this picture? A leader is teaching, a leader is telling what is the goal, how it has to be achieved. This is been told to all the team members, to all the employees of the organization, and all will follow his instructions. All this employee will follow his instructions. All this employee will work according to the instruction given by the leader. Now what leader is telling? Leader is explaining what is the goal. What are the methods to achieve this goal? Next, let us see what is the second feature. Second feature. Management is pervasive, or you can also call it as management is universal process, or management is a universal phenomena. What is universal phenomena, or what is pervasive? Very simple. The use of management is not restricted only to business firms. It is also applicable to profit making organization, non-profit making organization, or to any business forms. It can be in the form of hospitals, schools, clubs, association, or a small unorganized group. For all these things, management is applicable. As I told you in the very beginning when I gave you introduction about management, management is applicable everywhere, pervasive, universal. It is a universal phenomena. It is present everywhere. It is present within you. It is present in your family. It is present in day-to-day activities. So it is not just to we should not just expect that management is applicable only to organization, profit making organization. Management is applicable to everyone, everywhere, including non-profit making businesses. It can be government or it can be a non-government organization. It is applicable to everyone. Now third feature, management is multi-dimensional. Now what is multi-dimensional? Always management will not focus in one activity. Okay, whereas in case of multi-dimensional, there are three activities: management of work, management of people, and management of operations. Okay, as I told you, please have a notepad, please have a book, pen, make a note of it. Management is multi-dimensional. How many dimensions are there? There are three dimensions. First dimension is management of work, second dimension is management of people, and third dimension is management of operations. Now what is management of work? All organizations will set up a performance task. What do you mean by performance task? Very simple. It will allocate work to each and every individual. Okay, management activity aims in achieving goals by providing small task to each and every employee. Now let us go back to our example. Selling 1,000 computer is the goal, but all the people who are working in the organization will not do same activity. Sales team will do some sales related activity in selling that 1,000. Production team will do production related activity in producing that 1,000 computers. Accounts department will do recording of transaction that is related to preparation or manufacturing of 1,000 computers. You have understand it or not? So first, organization has to allocate the work. Organization has to give the task to each and every employees. Giving task to each and every employee is called as management of work. Always you have to remember carefully, not just giving the work, also making sure that people are working the given targets. People are working on the given targets. That also has to be taken care by whom? That also has to be taken care by the management. Okay. Next, what is the second dimension? Management of people. People refers to human resource. Who are human resource? We all are human resource. See, I am also working for an organization. To receive what? To receive my salary. I am working, they are paying my salary. Who am I to the organization? I am human resource to the organization. Okay, evaluation it or not. So, giving them proper training, developing their skills, improving their intelligence, improving their aptitude, improving their work ability. All this is part of people management or management of people. Not only taking care of salary, not only taking care of promotion, not only taking care of their transfer, also taking care of their training and development, also taking care of improving their aptitude, also taking care of improving their skills, developing their skills, helping an employee to be more employable to organization. Okay. Now, third dimension. Third dimension is nothing but management of operations. What is operations? Day-to-day activities are said to be operations. Now, for an example, all 1,000 computers cannot be manufactured in one single day. You will actually turn on. There will be a target of manufacturing this 1,000 computers in 1 month, 30 days. So, within 30 days, day-to-day activity, how much of work has to be done, that is planned. Okay, so operations refers to activities of production cycle. It can be buying of raw materials, storing of raw materials, sending the raw materials for production batch wise. As I told you, all 1000 computers are not manufactured in one single day. A month time is been taken, 30 days time is been taken. So for this 30 days you have to plan each day how much of raw material has to be supplied, when I have to buy the next batch of raw material. So what is operation? Planning your day-to-day productions or planning your day-to-day production cycle, your day-to-day activity is called as management of operation. So management is multi-dimension. In this multi-dimension, we have three categories. One, management of work, management of people, and management of operations. Next feature, management is a continuous process. Now what is continuous process? Now once this 1000, according to our example, once this 1000 computers is manufactured and sold, do you think the company will wind up and closed, locked down? No, they have to plan for next batch of production. They have to plan for next batch of transportation. They have to plan for next batch of purchasing raw material. They have to plan for distributing it to the next batch of distributors. Okay, so once one activity is completed in the organization, you cannot expect the organization to come to an end. Now for an example, let us take our institution. It has a history of more than 125 years. So now let us take like this. After first batch of students has passed, do you think the institution has come to an end? No. Every year they plan for new admissions. Every year they take new students. Every year there is a continuous activity. What is continuous activity? Planning for timetable, planning for classes, planning for examination. Okay, you understand it or not? So you cannot expect the management to stop after one particular goal is attained. No. Once one particular goal is attained, then management will fix the next goal. After that goal is attained, management will fix another goal. Hence, management is said to be continuous process. Next feature, management is a group activity. Management always refers to a group activity. Group of people or group of individuals together have to work in order to achieve the organization's goal. Now, for an example, let us take like this. Only if our principal is working towards achieving the organizational goal, we cannot expect 100% result. Only in accountancy we can expect result. Now, if 100% result have to be achieved, then not just a principal, all other subject faculty has to work towards the organization's objective. You will understand it or not? One person striving hard will not at all fetch fruit. One person striving hard will not at all fetch fruit. Each and every member in the organization has to understand what is the objective of the organization. Accordingly, they have to perform their responsibility. Each and every employee is responsible in achieving the organization's goal. You understand it or not? I am responsible for my subject. Likewise, history sir is responsible for his subject. Account sir is responsible for his subject. Each and every faculties are responsible for their subjects. And if all do their work properly, then automatically the organization's goal is achieved. So what do you understand here? One person cannot do anything. As I told you in the very beginning, one person cannot do anything here. Management is always a group activity. Group of individuals together have to take up the work in order to achieve the organization's goal. Okay. Now, what do you understand by looking in this picture? Before I talk about dynamic function, you will see this picture. You see this picture for a moment. Now what do you understand? Management is a dynamic function, which means management cannot focus on one particular activity. No, management has to focus simultaneously on different aspects. Management has to simultaneously keep an eye on different aspects. Now, why is it called as dynamic function is because whenever there is a change in the external environment. Okay. Now for an example, let us take like this. From traditional class, you take our own example. From traditional class, we have moved on to online classes. From traditional class, we have moved on to online classes. What made us to cope up for this change? Because external environment is demanding. Our external environment is demanding to put off traditional classes and to go for online classes. So we have adapted ourselves. We have adapted to the change that has happened externally. So what do you understand by dynamic function? Dynamic function is nothing but focusing on that changes which happens externally, might be social change, economical change, technical change, or political change. All this has great influence in organization. All this has great influence in management. Suppose if you don't change to the change that happens outside, then you cannot survive. See, all of us know the best example, Nokia. When most of the people were willing to buy Android phones, Nokia purposefully launched a Windows operating system, Windows operating phone. They did not understand the change that had happened in purchasers. They did not understand the change that happened in purchasers. Now what happened? They automatically went out of the market. Now what do you understand? Management is a dynamic function, means each and every factor that is happening outside, all that has some amount of influence in the organization. So a manager should carefully understand all that activity that is happening outside. You have understand it or not? See, all the arrows are pointed towards the brain. That means what? The brain is taking the input from outside. The organization is taking the input from outside. Okay. Next function. Management is intangible. What is intangible? You cannot see management, but you can feel the presence of it. Now for an example, let us take like this. We are functioning on an order line. Now what is this order line? I am getting instruction from my boss. I am getting instruction from my head. He is getting instruction from his head. Okay, you understand it or not? We call this as an order line. So we are all working based on the orders received by our superiors. So our superior is ordering us, we are working. Now who is creating this order? Go back to the first slide. We discussed administration, a group of individuals who prepares rules, regulations and enforce it are called as administrators. So these administrators will prepare rules and regulation, okay, and we are following it. Now for example, timetable. In a week we have timetable. Okay, so presence of timetable is helping us to work without any chaos. So I don't have clash with any other subject, nor any other subject faculty have clash with me, because already it is pre-planned. Okay, now what do you understand here? All the activities are pre-planned, which is helping us to act without any chaos, and you can only feel the presence of it. You cannot see planning, you cannot see rules, you cannot see regulation, but you can feel. So management is said to be intangible. That means you cannot see management, you cannot touch and feel management, but you can feel the presence of it. Okay, you have understood it or not? So today, as I told you, whatever topics that we had to discuss, we have discussed. So we shall wind up our class 1. If at all you have any doubts, I request you to mail to edu.together20@gmail.com. Okay, so if at all you have any doubts, I expect you to mail me to edu.together20@gmail.com. If at all you have my WhatsApp number, you can also WhatsApp me up. So I hope you have understood today's class. So if you don't understand, as I told you, please make a note of it and feel free to discuss anytime. Thank you.